morning. How's everybody today? Awake or bored? Okay. Sometimes when you read the same passage of the Bible, you can say, what's new? We've heard it many times before. We know it inside and out. We have heard all the sermons that can possibly explain this. So what's new? And sometimes when you think this way, God sheds a new light or opens a new angle of the same passage that you've been reading all your life. And I guess this happened to me as I was reading this passage, and I really asked myself, what's new? What new can God tell me and tell you this morning? And as I was reading, I just found out that there's a different take on the approach of this person, the young rich man, and versus the take or the challenge that the Lord posed on that person. This person had every good intent, and he asked him the normal question that we are all conditioned to ask: what should I do to get my reward? We are brought up by our parents, by the school system, by work, by our culture, is that when you work, you will receive your salary or your wage. You do good at school, you will get a prize or reward or a star on your note. So this person asked the Lord, what should I do to inherit eternal life? So God went with the flow with him and asked him, you know the commandments. And it's kind of, when you read it, Jesus, I guess, lured him into this kind of trap, because he told him, not all the commandments, by the way, some of the commandments. And if you look at them, they are the kind of the public commandments. The stuff that we do or we do not do because of public shame, because it's not appropriate, because it is not proper to do it in public. And do not commit adultery, do not murder, do not steal, do not bear false witness, do not defraud, honor your father and your mother. It is the commandments that are somehow monitored by the public, somehow they are ridiculed, and if one of us stole or commit adultery or bore false witness or dishonor their parents, we will find many eyes will be against us, and we may be judged, put to shame, and guilt. So it was easy for this person to say, well, I have known all this, it's easy. I have known it since I was a kid, check mark, I have done all this. But then the Lord challenged him, or like once he got him into this trap, he presented that test of love. Now the personal, internal commandments. Now the things that hurt the most. One thing you lack: go your way, sell what you have, give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven, and you'll get your reward. And come and take up the cross and follow me. Now it is the kind of commandments that will hurt us the most. The personal ones. The stuff that I love and I want to hold and I want to have all for myself. So when you analyze these two angles, things that we easily do because most people don't murder, don't steal, don't lie, I hope, don't be false witness. It is the stuff that it is easy done, so check. Now versus the labor of love. And somehow I put it in these two columns, two kinds of labors. Labor of servitude, because I am afraid of public shame, ridicule, criticism, versus labor of love, when it's internally motivated and I am only doing this for the love of the Lord. Or we can put it into two different columns: religion versus relationship. Religion tells you, do this and don't do that. And when you are a religious person, you follow the rules because you are afraid of the punishment, and you want to receive the reward. But when you are in a relationship, you're only thinking about the companion of the person whom you love. It's not about punishment versus reward. It is about being in the presence of whom you love, and you are willing to do anything and everything to please that person, to make him or make her feel your love, to show your love and gratitude. We can also put it in different columns. The public self versus the private self. We all have two personas. The persona that we show to people. We come to church, all of us dress nicely. We do the right thing, stand when we stand, sit when we sit, do the right thing. It's in public. We all have this church self, a church image, or public image. And the private persona, when nobody sees me, when nobody is judging me, when I'm left to myself and I do whatever I think is right. So that test of love is presented to everyone here today. And everyone who is really following the Lord or who wants to follow. Are you following me because of the public accountability? Or are you following me because you love me? You're seeking my love and you're seeking my companionship. Which persona, which self do you seek? I'm reminded of a song that we used to sing in Egypt. I'll just say the title in Arabic, but I'll say it in English. إني أحب الرب لا لأربح النعيم. This song I just put into English now, just very quick. This person, he says that I love the Lord not to win the paradise and not to be saved from eternal hell, but I love him because I delight in his love for me, whom by his grace he loved me first. I love him because he loved me first. Him who for my sake was humiliated like a slave and bore the cross and burial in the grave. He who was rich but lived like a poor for me. Can you find anyone like him? Would I after all this follow him for a reward or fear of punishment? No, but as he loved me, my heart loves him, who is fairer than all mankind. This is the test of love that we are given every day when we decide to either follow the Lord because of fear of the public accountability and shame. I should do the right thing because I want to keep my image, or I am following, I'm giving, I'm offering, I'm serving, I'm coming to serve him and to be in his house because I love him. I might not feel it every day, but there is a certain personal conviction between me and God It's a personal covenant that I have entered into. And this is why every day, whether I feel it or not, whether I like it or not, whether I want to give of my time, resources, energy, and anything, whether I want to or not, I am following him because he loved me first. This person, it is written, he was sad at this word and went away sorrowful, and for he had great possessions. His great possessions made him, made his image, made his persona, and he was driven and guided by the profit versus cost, gain versus loss. So now today is the test of love. Are you ready for that test? Because every one of us is this person. We want the reward. But the true question is that, are you willing to give it all because of your love for me or not? If you are in a bad relationship and this relationship is not taking you anywhere, it's destroying you, it's manipulating you, are you willing to give it up and do the right thing because of me? If you love your image so much, are you willing to give it up and go serve the poor and take up the cross and follow me? If you love your possessions and your money and your resources and your credentials and your letters after your name, and if you are called to follow me, are you willing to give it up all and just follow me? Or do you want to leave me and turn the other way in sorrow and sadness? I guess the biggest take for me this morning is that what is driving me? The public image, public accountability, the public commandments that are easy to do because most of us don't do it by default? Or am I driven by the private sense of self that is driven and convicted to follow the Lord no matter the price, no matter the effort? Because he told him that, come and follow me and take the cross. There's some suffering. There is a price to pay. Are you willing to pay the price for your fellowship with the Lord or not? I hope that we think about it this morning, because as we start the month of Kiyak, or the Advent month, we'll hear about two main figures, Zacharias and Saint Mary, who paid a big price for their calling. And they were put in a position to either follow the calling or do like everybody else and just disbelieve. So we'll talk about it later, but I hope it's clear for us today, this test of love. To him all glory forever. Amen.